Hey fabulous Resinators, welcome back to my channel. So today I have another mini storytime compilation for you with 3 stories from my favorite subreddit, Am I the A-hole? So for these stories, the Reddit community has already cast their votes and said what they think about each one of these OPs. So I want to let you know what they thought and I want to see if you guys agree. Also, I will be using my brand new resin curing machine that I got from Let's Resin. I am going to be making a few of my custom picks, and I thought that those would be the perfect thing to test out the resin curing machine because it typically takes about 3 days for my picks to fully cure. So I wanted to see if this would be a game changer. So make sure you watch to the end of the video if you guys want to see how that worked out. All right, Resinators, it's time for story number 1. You guys have to let me know if you think that this OP is the a-hole or not. So the first story is called, Am I the a-hole for telling my son that he has to wear clothes? My son, Mel 19, just loves to wear his underwear in his room for whatever reason. He'll throw on a shirt and pants if he has to step out to go to the bathroom or come to the kitchen, but still, he's in his underwear when he's in his room. I, Mel 48, have told him multiple times that I don't like that and I want him to wear clothes just in case me or his mom have to come into his room. He says that if we start knocking, then he'll throw on some clothes and then everything will be fine. I told him that he still has to wear clothes and he made another excuse and said that it was too hot. Okay, so in the summer, I tend to set the thermostat to around 85 to 87 to save money. Ding, that's hot. What the? Woo. I turn it down to around 80 to 82 once the sun goes down because then it takes a lot less energy. He says that it makes him sweat when he's just sitting around not doing anything, and I rejoined him by saying, if it's so hot, then go spend a couple of hours outside and see if it still feels hot. We live in Oklahoma and it routinely gets to up to 100 degrees in the summers. I live in Oklahoma and I can vouch for that. Some would say it gets hotter than the devil's, well, you know. He just rolled his eyes and wouldn't back down, and we continued to argue. So now I'm wondering, am I the a-hole? Duh. How could you not be the a-hole when you're telling your 19-year-old son what to wear in his bedroom? That is honestly creepy or something. Like, there's something wrong with that. You don't get to tell people what they wear in their bedroom. I mean, just to have the audacity. I almost couldn't get through that story without losing my mind. Like, seriously. He is obviously the a-hole. I don't care what anybody else has to say about it. Change my mind in the comments. Come at me. Come at me. I'm sorry that I'm so triggered, but that father is just out of line. He's completely out of line. For this one, obviously the Reddit community called him a big a-hole, and I could not agree more. So for an a-hole rating on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give this dad a 9 out of 10. The fact that he thinks he can tell his son what to wear in his own bedroom, even though his son is respectful enough to come out with clothes on, and you should be knocking on your 19-year-old son's door before you go in his room anyways. Privacy, hello? You guys, I'm done. I gotta get on to story number 2 because I got pissed. Story number 2 is called, Am I the a-hole for refusing to cook a separate meal for my niece? I, female 42, live with my husband, male 35, and our daughters, female 18 and female 16. We live in a different city from our families due to work. So a few months ago, my sister asked me if her daughter, Kate, female 19, could stay with us since she's starting college in our city. She was scared for her daughter to move away for the first time, especially to a big city like ours. I knew Kate from before COVID time, and I remembered her to be a smart, sweet kid. I discussed everything with my husband, and we agreed that she could stay with us. So Kate moved in around 2 months back. She was fine, came home on time, let us know her whereabouts, no partying. The issue was with food. She had turned vegan. Uh-oh. Normally, I cook for my family. I cook just one meal for all. And we're all dairy-obsessed people. Milk for cereal, butter and pancakes, cheese and everything. Eggs were our staple. Kate needed separate dishes altogether and we needed vegan substitutes for her. Since those were way more expensive, I told my sister that she should give money for Kate so that she can buy it. She started telling me how family doesn't take money from family to feed the kids. I told her that I would feed Kate the same as the other kids, but I won't spend extra money on her. She said that that was fine. So since her mom won't buy it, Kate started buying plant-based substitutes with her own pocket money. For dishes like pancakes, I made food for her using her own ingredients. I can't lie, OP is actually really nice for even trying to cook for her. I mean, she's 19. If she wants to be vegan, can't she cook for herself? Anyways, I gotta keep reading, sorry. But every time I made a huge non-vegan meal, she expected me to provide equivalent vegan meals. I drew a line at that. I don't have time to cook an extra meal for somebody else. She said that everyone else got to eat it and she felt left out. I told her that she was free to cook for herself and she hated that idea. It all came to a boiling point last weekend when we had a barbecue dinner with our friends. She got upset that her salad was very basic. It was good, only with chicken added. She complained and I told her that she can cook for herself. She got even more upset at that and called her mom crying about how I didn't make any good meals for her and expected her to fend for herself. My sister called me yelling at me about how I didn't love her daughter and I was intentionally excluding her. Now my parents are also taking their side. So am I the a-hole? Okay, so the whole family has to be toxic if they're taking the daughter's side on this. She's 19 years old. She chose to be a vegan. That's her diet choice. She has to cook for herself. She gotta get over it. I don't understand why anybody would expect somebody to cook for them when they started their own diet. They're a grown up. Like, you're not a kid. You should have to fend for yourself. You're a grown up. Oh, quickly, I just wanted to cut in and let you guys know that after only 3 hours, my picks were completely solid. So I will say that this resin curing machine is an absolute game changer. Check out the link in my bio for 10% off. Anyways, for this one, the Reddit community said that OP was not the a-hole for not cooking for her niece. And once again, I have to wholeheartedly agree. Anytime that OP cooks for her niece, she should be grateful. I'm gonna give OP a 0 out of 10 a-hole rating because honestly, she did nothing wrong. As for the daughter, 8 out of 10 for even expecting somebody to cook for her and for refusing to cook for herself. To be honest, 8 out of 10 for the whole family because they all sound extremely toxic if they're taking her side on this one. So you guys have to let me know what you think in the comments. And we got one more story. This last one, it might be triggering to some. Just the title alone. I haven't read the whole story yet, but the title just sounds pretty bad. So this one is called, Am I the a-hole for telling my sister's husband to stop buying my daughter boy toys? Okay, so I'm kind of in a pickle. My sister's husband keeps buying my daughter toys and clothes that are associated with boys. And some of them are not cheap either. My daughter is 2 and she does take after her father, and in boy clothing she often gets mistaken as a boy. My daughter does enjoy the toys and I can see past it since I know that he loves his niece. But her father does not, and I am sick of hearing his mouth, and to be honest, I also do get a little bit annoyed seeing him treat her like a boy. I would much rather he just stop gifting her things altogether, but we just can't say no. I get it that I have a dated view, but it's also really frustrating when people mistake my child for a boy. I have tried multiple times to have this conversation with him, but he's argumentative by nature. I mean, what do you expect from an autistic attorney? Whoa, shots fired, shots fired. OP is a little bit out of line for that one. I hate the fact that he comes at me with logical responses to my emotional plea. He's disrespecting my wishes as a parent. So I told him that if he can't stop buying her stuff, then he can't see her. Now my sister is mad at me because he told her what I said. I explained to her that I don't want my daughter to be viewed as a boy. My sister told me that I need to get over my issues and stop projecting crap onto my daughter. So I told her that if she can't respect my issues, then she also can never see my daughter again. Our mom thinks that I'm blowing this out of proportion, but I feel as a parent that my requests are reasonable. I mean, all he had to do is respect my wishes. So am I the a-hole? The #1 comment on Reddit sums it up perfectly. You are the a-hole. How vain of you to be more concerned about what other people think than what your daughter enjoys. Gross. And I completely agree. Such an a-hole move. Also, you're the parent, so you get to decide what your kid wears at the end of the day. If you don't like the clothes, just thank them for the gift and move on. So you guys have to let me know in the comments what you think. Also, guys, if you're wondering how I got the second pick to be as shiny as the first, I use my triple thick glaze, which always does the trick. All right, besties, thank you so much for watching, but I am completely out of time, so I will see you in the next video. As usual, stay kind, stay amazing, and keep on resonating. Peace.